What you're looking at here is a weekly candle or weekly chart on SPY or SPY. And today is Monday, as if you probably haven't noticed it. But what I really want to talk about real quick is the behavior of what today looks like. And of course, this is not going to define the rest of the week, but as you can see, as of today, the day ended with this doji candle right here, which ultimately, um, this is not the first time you're seeing this. Probably, if you look back a few weeks ago or a few months ago, 2 months ago actually, you might have seen that there was a doji candle formed at one point, and also there were a few other dojis. And you might have also seen that those dojis are actually corresponding to a major support and resistance level. Like as an example, this was a major resistance level in the past few months, and that is being a major support level for is going might be the major support level for this week. We don't know yet until probably the week closes tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we'll have a more detailed information on it. But with this being said, with today closing on a bearish closing bearish, we kind of would have an idea of what the rest would look like. And this is a weekly chart. If I move this down a little bit, zoom it a little bit to a daily chart, you will see that um, last week was green primarily, despite the gapping. Last week was green based on the fact that this past 5 days, well, there was that huge gap which we all noticed, and this 5 following days kind of behaved really well in terms of uh, uh, being bullish. So that kind of gave that week entirely a pretty bull engulfing candle. But it's not necessarily true that this week will hold um, to that same direction of being bullish, because as you can see on my mini subs chart, we have a very low momentum. We have a really low momentum, and the yellow line here that you see, this yellow line is what I call the zero line. Everything is right below the zero line, and when we're below the zero line like that, there is a high chance of um, bearish trend acting up at any point of time, until when we cross the zero line and everything else is green on the subchart here, on this Icon Hashi with the zero line, then we'll know for sure. Well, not really for sure, but if that crosses the zero line and close above it and open above it, then we know for sure we are starting to act more bullish, you know, for the next few days. And I have here on my chart, I have this blue line is what I call the pivot point, but my pivot point is a little bit more different than the pivot points that you guys normally interact with. But also at the same time, I use that pivot point as my call put ratio at the same time, if I have to make sell options or scalp or something like that. And then I have a linear regression and a moving average, which one is a booster for the other. Um, those both has to be met for something to take place. Um, as an example here, um, we have a very low momentum below the zero candle. Below the zero line, and we have a buy signal here, which is everything is above the linear regression and moving average, and also more importantly above the pivot point. And the next day, actually, that was when it closed above the zero line. The next day did not necessarily open above the zero line, but it still closed above the zero line. The following day was when it opened above the zero line. And we know for sure at that point that for sure, we are safe to look for call opportunities. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look at today's trade more specifically. On today's trade, though, because of this doji, it might have been really, really tricky for a lot of traders. Really, really a lot of traders, unless if you're one of those who are really, really professional. But if you're a new trader, today might have been a lot more misleading for a lot of people. Well, not really necessarily misleading if you're trading on a smaller time frame, but if you're trading on a larger time frame, let's say for example, well, when I when I go to a shorter time frame, I will have something else will come in, which something that you might have already interacted with, which we call the open range breakout. I do use open range breakout every now and then, but let's pull. If you trade long, longer time frame within a day, within the intraday, um, you see that today here this big black candle is the opening of the day, and because of that, I would want to take a trade if everything closed outside this, outside that candle, but everything has been oscillating within that candle for 95% of the day, 90 actually 98, 90, 99% of the day. Everything has been within the candle, which makes trading time frame like 30 minutes really, really difficult with this method. So what I would necessarily do is reduce the time frame to actually 5 minutes. Even 15 minutes will not work. 5 minutes would fairly work, but more importantly, 2 minutes would be great. So on a 2 minutes time frame, you would see that the day opened right here. We closed, we started trailing right below it, and as soon as I see this kind of opportunity, um, I already know I have my open range over there. I see that kind of opportunity. Well, not primarily normally on a 5 minutes chart, but what I would do is that I would right away take this opportunity because I know for sure the momentum is starting to build. We are already below the zero line here. Momentum is starting to build below the zero line. That gives us a quick trade with a few pips below that few moving candles right there. And we know for sure that this changes when we started to trend back towards the zero line. We got our buy signal on a 5 minute chart, which looks a lot better actually on a 2 minute time frame. On a 2 minute time frame, this gives you a lot of advantage. So here is where I would enter to make my to make my trade, but not actually quite well. I would only enter because we are above this first level here of pivot point. And sorry about that. That's my timer for my evening routine. Um, then I would primarily enter if it closes above my ORB, right where I am pointing here, right after this rate is where I would enter. But that becomes a little late on a day like this when, of course, you cannot tell the day ahead of time. But if you look at it from a 2 minute point of view, from a 2 minute point of view, you have this whole thing displaying in front of you, and you have this accumulation level where security is accumulating. And if you compare that down here, if you look at it down here, right here, you see that uh, what is really happening is that momentum is dying. It's just slow. It's nothing is going anywhere. Um, and of course, on the main chart, you still have that region there. You still have that region, which ultimately, comparing that consolidation with the momentum you have on the sub chart here, you should be able to tell that at least there's going to be a power move to the opposite side. Right now, you're already on the far negative, you know, on the far negative as far as you can be. This is more like actually RSI. You guys use RSI, which is pretty straightforward. This is a more improved version of RSI. We are already at the oversold, uh, position. We're looking to get out of that, and that reversal happens right there. And with that, I have my linear regression and MA or moving average. We cross those two right away. I would right away jump in that right there because of this momentum building up. and from there I would ride that as long as we're above the MA and linear regression line here, we will ride that. But then we reach to the point where if you look here, you see that this right here, all this, the momentum building up here is really on the subchart is really low. It's really low, indicating that we are probably in an exhaustion zone, meaning that we'll have to probably make a U-turn real quick. A lot of people would be drawing everything else they can want. I mean, they want to draw. I will give you a quick draw here after I clean my current drawing first, as far as technical analysis is concerned. Um, Here, like we did earlier, we are consolidating within the line, within the linear regression, which is a very strong chance of exhaustion. Possibilities have been exhausted here. I mean, the trend has been exhausted right here where we are, and because of that, we cross both of those lines right here. We cross both of them right here, indicating a really powerful move, followed by a strong momentum. Actually, even though we were still above the zero line, that would have been a clear sign, and a put option at that point would have worked quite well. Well, maybe not quite well, not hoping for that much, but with that jump, if I decided that I want to take a put option, I would have won that. So that's pretty much how I would play that. And then you have this exhaustion level here, accumulation, everything is kind of building up, taking its time, where you want this to build from the far end and cross around, turn things around, and the day just went oscillating back and forth just like that. So you would, typically you find those kind of levels, you make your entry, and then you wait a little bit, you make your exit, um, and repeat the same thing for the day. That's kind of pretty much how the day went. As far as advanced technical analysis is concerned, let's go ahead and first clear the chart a little bit. Uh, I want to put everything back into a 30 minutes candle. I mean, a 30 minutes time frame. On a 30 minutes time frame, it's a lot really easy. You can, like I said, you can spot a great day, you can spot a bad day. If I am comparing this day with today was horrible, really horrible. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. A day before, which was previous Friday, last Friday, was actually a lot better because, well, was greater than today because there were a lot of opportunities that kind of showed itself right off the door. You know, that we were bullish a little bit in one way or another. We had a few pips, and this one I'm looking at 30 minutes time frame. At the 30 minutes time frame, we had a good opportunity to pull something out. Day that followed, last Saturday, we had a great opportunity right here. The day opens, we break out, open range breakout. We are already above everything else. We know for sure we have a higher chance of bullish. We're bullish on a day, and the day before, last Wednesday, we opened here and everything kind of just consolidated for a minute. That means within that time, you really don't want to do anything. You want to break out of that and get out of that so that you can take action afterwards. And we had a strong break, to the downside. We really had a strong break, and we just rallied around it. Um, until the day we just rode that, and days just keep following like that. I've never seen a day like today. This was almost similar to today, but this was not exactly the same because this is a 30 minutes time frame. At least I would have entered here, made some pips, made some ride, and days like this are days that I look for. Days like this, it's excellent. You just have sit, have a glass of water, and go whatever it is that you're drinking. And this is also better than today. Why? Because we at least broke at the very beginning and had a clear direction on where to go. And everything was below the lines that I had. And the momentum down there was strong and building towards the bear. And so those kind of days. But that's not what I want to show you. What I want to show you here is let's take a quick look and zoom things a little bit. Um, As far as today is concerned, you might have seen that right where we are here is corresponding to a level previously, sometime last week or before last week, before that gapping of last week. And that level is a really, well, not really, but it's a major level, meaning there is a strong possibility of us not crossing that. But if we do cross that level, that major resistance level, we will definitely ride to the upside. And by that level, this is what I mean. Let me draw a line on it. Let me draw a line on it. I will put it at 0 degree because it's horizontal. Um, right around this line, I would have actually drawn a zone. Right around that line is what I'm talking about. So right around that yellow line that I've just drawn right now is the major level, resistance level right now. And but also at the same time, if we look at that resistance level and way back, we will see that it's corresponding to something. It's also corresponding to this zone here, which was also a major resistance and support and resistance level. But also that level might be corresponding to something we haven't seen, which, well, we will not let history repeat itself here probably. That's yeah, that's too far to talk about right now. Let's just focus on the current data here, right here. But I know for sure it's corresponding to something back. But we just need about 2 to 3 data from the past data, past few months. But this corresponds to that. That corresponds to this, and this corresponds to that. So we have that major resistance level. We're now looking for on that. On the other hand, we do still have this support level right here. That support level was the previous resistance level as well. So we do have two things to fight with. Um, and it's kind of hard to tell because at this point, really, we have that other level. Actually, let's paint that another color. Let's paint that. I don't need it blue. I don't need it. Let's paint it red. So the red level here is our support level, the previous support level, but also within last week, in the previous week, in the previous week actually, yeah, in the previous week, it was a support level, but in last week or the previous week, it was a resistance level. But now in this week, that has turned into our current support level. So we have to break one of these two. Whichever side we break to, we will ride. We will ride for sure. We will definitely ride. But I have a strong feeling that uh, this we're more likely to break this support because um, not a lot that we can actually. Let me see here. That has been a resistance level over there. Again, we're not going to go further in that history. And right within here, if we zoom a little bit, we'll see that this has been a support level right here and might still be a support level. So it's still holding as a support level, current support level. So we want to break this support level, but because of the previous week, this is stronger than the last week is stronger than the previous week because the previous week, this was weak, but there was nothing up to the uptrend. So we are hoping that I am hoping that this will end up actually giving us a little bit of a bull move here. So there's still some hope from where we are to this level here, right here where I draw the dotted line, because that was another support level from the previous week. So we're gonna go and retest that level probably, and after retesting that level, that's probably when everything is gonna all hell's gonna break loose, and then after that is when probably things will pick up and go the other way around, and at that point we know for sure it's gonna be a mess. But until then, just have your technical analysis close and just do the dues, and just like that you will always flourish. Good luck in your trading, um, and all the best to you. Thanks for watching, and if you have questions, just leave everything in the comment. I'll be happy to share my ideas and thoughts with you. Thanks.